Hi, my friend. This is Paul Cheema from PC24 RETV. I would like to thank each and every one of you who will be watching this video any time in their life or who will be joining us today. Today we will have an amazing guest. He's a kind of health freak, so we'll hear from him what he has to tell us. I sent a tweet out and I mentioned that we are going to hear some important aspect of how to stay healthy. And he just came from gym. I will soon introduce him to all of you guys here. So today's program, as long as I have my special guest, will stay in English. We might switch to Punjabi language at some other point because this guy is only English. This is my problem. He talks English, he walks English, he speaks English, he does everything English. So let me hear from him why he is also English. We'll bring him up very soon on the screen. But as our format is, we always talk about some quote from someone. We try to get some inspiration from this person's life. And for the past few days, I have been talking about those people who have shown victory of mind over their body. We have shared many great quotes from Helen Keller, from many other people, even our Steve Jobs, who was dyslexic. Today, the person I'm going to talk about is very well known in the field of music. I do not have that much awareness about this person, but whatever I learned from him is all from Wikipedia. You all can see. But it's not if I remember that person's history or life or if I admire him or not. But when I see that these people were actually the ones who lived life like heroes, I really get inspired every day. And that's what I want to share with you. So Ludwig van Beethoven was a musician and a composer. He is very well known to, I think, everyone in the music industry. Before I go forward, let me bring our guest, so maybe we will talk together. Welcome, Mr. Ray Yankana.
Good morning, Paul. Good to see you.
Nice, you're looking great in that sexy cap and a coffee cup in your hand. So that kind of tempts me to go out and grab my own coffee.
Well, I made coffee after I worked out, and I'm ready for you. Thanks for inviting me onto the show. You made a comment about me only being English, and look at me. I look like I might have come from where you came from, right? But it's in my genes. I grew up I was born on an island called Aruba,
Uh-huh.
and I grew up in a country that you might have heard of, and people in Toronto will have heard of this country. My parents were from a country called Guyana. Used to be British Guyana. So when I was young, probably just a toddler, my mom and dad moved back to Guyana and took me with them, and then I grew up in Guyana, but I was born in Aruba. But my ancestors genetically had come to Guyana 3 generations before me. So my great grandparents came from half and half. Half of them came from Afghanistan, and half of them came from India. And the ones that came from India, some came from the Madras area, and some came from the Bihar area.
Which
So
area?
it's a
Bihar?
big mix-up. Bihar.
Okay.
You've heard of Bihar province?
No, I haven't. Oh,
It's a
Bihar.
province in your country.
Bihar.
Bihar.
Okay.
Bihar.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I may be pronouncing it wrong. See,
Yeah, from your mouth it
because
sounds very different province.
I grew up speaking English, and in school we learned Spanish. But then later on in life, I learned to speak French because I lived in England for a couple of years when I was starting high school, and then I moved to Canada, and I lived in Montreal. So my wife is French speaking, and I got to be pretty good where I could communicate in French. But then I've lived in British Columbia most of my life, so that's what I speak most of the time is. And then as time went on, I actually you might not know this, Paul. I lived in a community in northern BC. You might know that.
Yes.
But there was a small Sikh community there, and I was in the building business at the time. before I got into real estate. And the small group of Sikhs, they were having trouble building a Gurdwara. They wanted to build a Gurdwara, but they're having trouble. I didn't know, but they came and saw me one day. And make a long story short, I helped build that Gurdwara.
Okay.
They couldn't get a permit. I got the permit, dealt with the building inspector and all the things like that, and we got the Gurdwara built. So my great-grandfather in Guyana built a mosque, and I built a Gurdwara in northern British Columbia. How's that?
So now you explained why no Punjabi, no Hindi language. So this is so true. Where you start living, you start getting the language of that particular neighbor or the province, or because you are living with those people who speak a dominant language and you get used to it. Same with us. So I started this TV broadcast. I won't call it TV show right now. It's not a TV show. It's just a broadcast. So when I started this broadcast, I wanted to talk to my own community. So I changed the language from English to Punjabi. If you watch my previous episodes, Ray, you will see that my Punjabi really sucked. It was very bad. As I kept doing it, it started improving. I started getting the hang of those words again that I used to speak so frequently. This is the effect of cultural exchange, where we meet other people and we grab certain things from each other. Funny thing is, I do have accent in my English language, which I have no intention to remove. I will keep it the way it is, because I don't want to work on something that I can't fix. And at the same time, I also started getting accent in my Punjabi language. So my Punjabi is now more like Canadian Punjabi, and my English is more like Punjabi English. So this is how it is, and I am okay as long as I can put across my point of view, and someone else, like a genius like you, can understand it. I am rocking and rolling.
Well, one of these days I'll introduce you to some of the Punjabi guys that I work with, and some of them are very good in both languages, and they speak both languages all the time. They have to.
Yes,
One of these days you'll have to meet my friend. You've met Dave Bawa.
I did.
Dave is all known
A
in
good
Toronto
guy,
because
and I
he's a
did
singer. He's made a
communicate
lot of
with
CD.
him. He will
Yeah,
be on our
he's made
show
lots of
sometime
music. He's a
soon.
musician.
Fantastic. So Ray, before we get into your health tips, I was talking about Ludwig van Beethoven. The format of my program is I start with inspirational quote and I talk about the person. Or I used to also talk about historical events that happened on this date in any preceding years. So I get motivated when I say that. Have you heard about Ludwig van Beethoven?
Of course. Of
Fantastic.
course. As a matter of fact, I took a little music when I was younger, and I can even recognize Beethoven's music when I hear it.
Oh, fantastic. So Ludwig van Beethoven, born on 17 December 1770, and he passed away when he was barely 56 years old. He is accredited with creating notable compositions for music. And do you also know that he became deaf he became fully deaf by 1814, but there was something before that when he started reporting that I'm losing my hearing ability from 1798. He started feeling that. Are you aware of this?
I'm not aware of that. I never heard that. No.
Well, this is what it says. And Beethoven told English pianist, his name was Charles Neate, in 1815, that he dated his hearing loss from a fit in 1798. He was angry with some other musician, had a fight, and then he said he started losing uh, his hearing ability. And this is attributed to some disease called no, it is. Let me find out the name of that disease. It is, I, yeah, it is called otosclerosis. Otosclerosis is some growth over the actual hearing mechanism in your ear. I don't want to go into details, but he became totally deaf, it is said, by 1814, but he did not stop working. Slowly and slowly, he stopped appearing in public, and eventually, life took another casualty, and he passed away. And he gave a quote, a thought, whatever you call it. He says, what you are by accident of birth. What I am by myself. There are and will be 1,000 princes. There's only one Beethoven. There's only one Ray. There's only one Cheema. There is one only this or that person. So isn't that so true? What you are by accident of birth. What I am by myself. There are and will be 1,000 princes. There is only one Beethoven. What a fantastic way of sharing a thought.
Exactly. You are unique. We are all individually unique, and yes, we may have been born without any direction from us, but after we're born and we get to a certain point in our life is what it's based on the decisions that we make and the path that we take.
Yes. It is so phenomenal that these people have overcome their physical disabilities and they shone like anything. I talked about Professor Stephen Hawking, the guy who could barely communicate, but he was still very active till his last days. We spoke about American President, Mr. Roosevelt. He had disability. John Hockenberry, we talked about him yesterday. Steve Jobs, Ralph Brown. We're talking about Beethoven today. We spoke about Helen Keller, who could neither hear nor could see anything, but how her teacher Anne showed her how to communicate and feel the things around her, who are phenomenal. The Story of My Life by Helen Keller. If you haven't read, I think it's a book worth reading. I'm still reading it. We spoke about Marley Matin, John Nash. It's so many personalities who showed us you can make a disability, some incapacity, very minuscule if you use your mind and win the battle. Don't look at your disability from this close. Take it far away, as far away as you can, so you don't see it at all, and keep doing what you're doing. But on the other hand, there are people who get a little cut on their finger and they think, oh my God, I need 2 days leave. I was talking to someone a few days back, and this person was telling me there is an insurance that pays for hospitalization. It's a new insurance company from US that is stepping into Canada. And she told me that if you get cuts, you still get money by this company. And she actually showed me the receipt, the payout of $1,000 just for a few stitches on her finger. I said, wow, that is phenomenal. We need that kind of free money. But these people, they just killed everything. Anyways, so this is how we are. We talk about market scenario. We'll get to that. I know you are very excited. You were sharing something with me yesterday.
I wanted to make a comment about when you were talking about Beethoven having a disability. This is an area, a subject that we seem to avoid in Canada, maybe around the world, I don't know, but because a lot of people actually have disabilities, but we don't, it's almost like it's a taboo that we can't talk about it. And one of the disabilities that I'm aware of, because I've worked with children. I spent a little bit of time working with children in a school years ago, and I became aware of the fact that some children have like a reading disability, or they're dyslexic. And I've worked with adults, like part of in my business life, many of my clients who are hugely successful,
okay,
they had this disability. I had one client, one of my best clients, and he became a good friend. He used to say to me, Ray, I can't read the contracts. I need you to read this contract for me. And I never forget the day, he was probably a man in his 60s at the time that he said to me, he says, Ray, I just read my first book. I've
Oh,
never read a book in my life. And
wow.
so this is like a struggle and a bit of, we could call it a disability. And a lot of children who are in school have this. And over the years, the school, the teachers were, maybe at first they were unaware of it. And I think in some schools, they're kind of aware that you might have a student who's extremely brilliant in many things. And having a disability is not a sign of lack of intelligence.
Yes.
You just finished telling us that Beethoven had a disability. They thought that Einstein, his teacher said, you've got a disability. You're dumb. You're not going to make much of yourself. You're not going to make much in life. And he proved them all wrong.
Yes.
So when you brought that subject up, I know that many of the people that are listening might have children, or they themselves might feel inferior or insecure or something. And if we ever did anything to help people, we got to let them know they've got to rise up. You can't let that. You got to just find ways around it. I mean, I have a relative. He's my grandson. He's not much of a reader, but you should see this young guy build stuff. From the time he was little, he would build stuff with Legos, and the rest of us were just like, wow. And today he's
Wow.
doing his second year apprenticeship as a welder and as a mechanic. And
Wow.
the older men that he works with, they're like just amazed at how gifted he is, how hardworking he is. But if you put a book in front of him and
Yeah.
try to get him to get information out of that book or read it, he's going to have trouble.
Yeah.
He's going to have trouble. So even Paul, you and I, maybe you're not aware that you have a disability, and maybe I'm not aware that I have a disability, because we maybe don't think it's a disability. We just think, well, I'm not good at that.
Yes.
But
That's true. I fully
when you
agree
bring
with
that
that.
subject up,
We all have some kind of disability. It's only recognizing that and knowing it. And do you also know that Henry Ford, the great motor company manufacturer giant, he was also dyslexic, right?
many famous people,
And look at the progress he made in his life, how he stuck to that. There are people who had a weird kind of autism, but they succeeded in that. People who are disabled, they created items for disabled so others can live healthy life. And this is
I think when we
really
have certain,
amazing.
yeah,
Human mind
certain
is super.
disabilities,
Yeah.
certain disabilities are more obvious than others, and I think it's a bad thing to try, and especially for children, for people to say negative things about them or put them down, because you have no idea the gifts and abilities that God put in those people.
Yes.
And we're not all strong at everything. So when you brought that up about Beethoven, I don't like to miss an opportunity to say, always be encouraging the kids, always be encouraging the children, because they have gifts and abilities and things that the world needs, and they certainly don't need anybody discouraging them.
That's true. So we used to hear this proverb or quote in our childhood: "A healthy mind lives in a healthy body." But these people actually proved even if the body is not healthy, the mind is still healthier.
Exactly. Even though the body might have some deficiencies, or
Yeah.
they haven't figured out whether a reading disability is a physical thing, or
Yep.
is it the way your brain's wired. But even if that's the case, it is a physical thing. There's nothing wrong with their mind.
Yeah. And one of the reason I talk about these people, Ray, is because the world is so full of negativity, jealousy. You go to TikTok and you see if someone starts gaining followers, there are people making comics on those people, mimicking them, copying their audio, and trying to act very weird, as if they have no individuality of their own. It's only that they can only copy others, but they are not themselves. So they are totally lost in this world, and they can't leave people to live their life, whether good or bad, but they act as a character police, a grammar police, or whatnot. I see that all the time, and so many people, so many radio hosts are just, uh, you know, of kind of beating these people, bullying these people over their little TikTok videos and saying they are all mad, they are all crazy, this and that. So when I say these things, it might help someone who is sulking, who thinks the world has gone dark and there is no ray of hope. But for those people, it may come as, a savior. There was an instance on the eastern side, I think Scarborough side, where this lady was she drove into a drive-through that was supposed to be her last coffee at Tim Hortons. She wanted to commit suicide after that. This was her plan,
Wow.
and it was published in newspaper. So as she reached the window, the service window, she wanted to pay, and the girl at the window said, "Your coffee has been paid off." And she couldn't believe that. She thought to herself, "Oh, there are good people in this world too." That little gesture by someone made her change her decision to commit suicide. And she sent a letter to the newsroom of this newspaper and thanking that this person, whoever it is, saved her life, made her look positive to the world around her. And the newspaper guys, they actually found the person, and this person was very frequent at that Tim Hortons. He would just go there and buy coffee for random people. It was featured in the newspaper. I forgot what paper it was, but it was a couple years back. This is a true incident. So sometimes these stories do take people out of depression, and they rise up again and they come very strong. So I honestly believe someday I will hear that comment from someone. That's the purpose of talking inspiration. This show is designed to share information on real estate, but that's okay. Real estate is just a little part of our life. We cannot magnify it bigger than our life. So this talk is really very important and significant. As far as real estate is concerned, if you see on the left side, the ticker keeps going. So people can still see how prices are trending in major municipalities around Toronto. So it shows a change of price from January 22 until 5th of May. So the data has, it is comparing the numbers and giving a percentage going up or down. So that part people can always get.
Very
By
good.
the
What
way,
kind of
yeah,
yes?
say that again. I
I
saw
was
you
going to
cut
say
in.
how big is your audience? How many people watch the show? Are you able
I
to
think
tell
I
that?
am the only audience of my show. But I see
But the show is recorded so people could find it later on and watch it if they wanted to.
it goes on YouTube, it's live on Twitter, it's live on LinkedIn, it's live in my Facebook group page called PC24. I have enough material to run it 24 hours. So sometime I just leave it on and it keeps playing the previous episodes by itself. It
Very
goes.
good.
I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to take it to the outside world where I can talk to actual audience, actual people, and bring them all up here. I do have the entire setup fixed up. All I need to do is press this button and then I am outside. So this will be People's Pulse. It's only when it's going to kick off today, tomorrow, couple days, but I'm just going to plan it and then take it to people. I want to have people's input on all matters, real estate, how they respond, what they feel. I do not trust the surveys the government does or other people does. They talk 1,000 people and then they come up with a prediction that this is what is going on. But every area has a different perspective. So anyways,
Have you
so
had my
Mr.
Asif Khan on the show?
Asif Khan came here once. Then he's all too busy managing couple offices, and he keeps
Got
telling
it.
me, I will come back. If I had planned this earlier, I would have invited him as well. Or maybe I can send him a message saying, as if you want to join, we can take him in right away. So, so you were talking about some healthy thing yesterday, and I put you on a hold. I say, okay, we'll talk in our show. That's the whole purpose. You jumped into my program and wanted to share your health. I see you are a gym freak. You go there every day without failure, whether it was COVID or whether it was a rainy or stormy day. You are always there. So, man, where do you bring all that inspiration from?
So let me tell you, there's a couple of things. So I give thanks to my dad. When I was as far as I can remember, my mom actually told me when she got out of the hospital after I was born, one of the first things she started doing was taking me to the beach. And her and my dad and my sister, I had an older sister, so I don't remember exactly what that looked like because I was a toddler, and I haven't been able to bring back that memory. It's in there, but I haven't been able to bring it back. But I've been exercising, going to the beach as far as I can remember. And what I can remember is when I was a young boy, every morning, my dad would wake me up, sometimes 5:30 in the morning, and we would go to the beach. We would exercise. We would do calisthenics, stretching. My dad would show me some exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, all these kinds of things he would do on the beach. And then we would go swim in the ocean as the tide was coming in. So I grew up doing that, and I really have never been the kind of person that just sleeps in, and because I have this built-in desire to exercise. So fast forward, I had an accident when I was about 40 years old. Because my exercise at the time was I played a lot of squash, racquetball, and I ran. And when I was around 40, I tore my Achilles tendon. It's a bad injury, and I had to have an operation. And after the operation, there was a long time to recover in a cast. When I say a long time, probably 2 months or more. And after that was done, there's the recuperation of trying to bring that ankle back into play because it's bent out of shape to shorten the Achilles so it can heal. So what happened is during that next year, it's funny, something might happen to you physically, and it's easy to stop doing something physical. The one thing we don't stop is eating. So my eating habits didn't change. And as a result, I started to put on weight. I had never had this problem in my life, but of course my metabolism, because of my age turning 40, was probably slowing. I mean, that's just a natural thing that happens.
Yes.
And because I wasn't exercising for the better part of a year, I started to slowly exercise. But the doctor was always telling me, Ray, your running days are over. Your squash and racquetball, those explosive motions, they're over. You're not going to do that again. So what I started to do was walk. And walking is a great exercise. However, I was living in the north, and in the wintertime, it's a little challenging to go walking because, first of all, there's no trails that are even clear. It's very, very, a lot of snow and it's cold. So I got a treadmill. To make a long story short, I put on weight. And even though I walked all the time, it just wasn't enough. I hadn't really addressed my eating situation. So what happened, I'll fast forward again to about 6 years ago, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I'm feeling 100%. I was working out in the gym every day. I had learned how to do that. I had started to go to the gym in 2014. So I worked out several times a week. I walked every day. I never missed a day. I exercised every day. Sometimes, some weeks, maybe 6 days, not 7. Today, I'm a 7-day person. But back then, I was maybe 5 or 6 days a week. So I was exercising all the time, but I used to have a day off. But in 2017, I had an incident. And the incident I had was I had a heart attack.
Oh.
I had the heart attack in the gym. And I didn't even know I had a heart attack. When I got home after shower, I didn't have any pain.
Which year was that?
I had a heart attack living here in Abbotsford. I came home from the gym on a Saturday morning, and in the fall of 2017,
Okay.
and I felt tired, so I had a little nap after the gym, and I canceled an appointment.
Uh-huh.
After my nap, I sat in the easy chair, drinking coffee, which was a good thing. If you're having a heart attack, you should drink coffee and a little alcohol and take some aspirin. But I didn't know I was having a heart attack.
Oh.
But I had no idea. But my daughter she came by to visit mid to late morning. And she was talking to me, and she says, "Dad, I don't think you're 100%." And I said, "Well, I had this little pain in my, across my chest. Like, I'm not a pain. It's more of a tingling sensation. It wasn't painful." And so she said, "I think you should go to the doctor. I think you should go to the hospital." So I said, "Okay. Here's a good decision, Paul. Never argue with the women. Never argue with your wives and daughters. They make a suggestion, do what they say, because they're usually smarter than we are, right?"
Yes.
So I said, "No problem." And as soon as I decided I'm going to go, because she said, "Let's go," I said, "Okay, I'll phone my doc." So I phoned my doctor, and he was just closing his clinic and going for lunch. And I told him what happened, and he said, "No, that's a good idea." He says, "But stop and see me." He says, "I'm going to this restaurant that's on your way." He says, "Just stop and see me in the restaurant." So I went to the restaurant. I walked in. He's sitting there with his staff. He brought his little doctor's bag with him, and he reaches in his bag, gets his stethoscope out, and he starts listening to my vitals. And one of the gals that works with him says, "Doc, what are you doing? We're in a restaurant." He says, "I'm a doctor. I can do this anywhere." He just said, "Let me, test Ray." So he does all this stuff, and he says, "You sound okay, Ray." He says, "Everything sounds good."
Yeah.
He says, "But I want you to go to emergency."
Okay.
And he says, "Give them this envelope." He brought a sealed envelope, gave it to me. So he says, "On the way, stop and get a couple aspirins and take them." And I did. And then I arrived at emergency. I handed them the letter. The letter was sealed. I didn't see what he wrote. I never have seen what he wrote. But when they opened the letter, they jumped into action.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they jumped into action because he must have said something in the letter like, I don't know, maybe that my patient Ray has had a heart attack. I don't know. They rushed me through all tests. And I was there all afternoon. And the last test I had to do was I had to get some x-rays. So they peeled off all the stickies where they had connected me to. And I spoke to the cardiologist a couple of times during the afternoon. I said, "So everything okay?" He says, "Oh, we haven't done all the tests yet, Ray."
Yeah.
I said, "Is the monitor okay?" He says, "Yeah, the monitor's okay. But we need some x-rays, and we haven't done all the tests." So I get back from the x-rays, and I start to get dressed. And the cardiologist, who was a Sikh, I forget his name. He's a well-known cardiologist in the area.
Okay.
And he comes in and he says, What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm getting dressed. I'm going home." He says, "You're not going home." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He says, "You're having a heart attack." I said, "You never told me that before." He said, "I didn't have the blood work before." He says, but he said, "I just got the blood work and I can tell you're having a heart attack." So I said, how is that?" And he says, "Well, when you're having a heart attack, your blood secretes an enzyme. It's called troponin." And he says, "That's why I know you're having a heart attack. So we're going to keep you for observation." They kept me overnight. And I think Monday, they took me to another hospital where they said they're going to have another specialist take a look at my heart through my arteries. They put a camera in, they go all the way into your heart and they take a look. And so I had to have some stents put in because I had 3 major blockages.
Wow.
But the next day I went back. They only got 2 the first day or 3 the first day, but they found that there was 5, and they went back in and did the other 3 the second day. And so prior to this happening, I had heard on a tape a long time ago from a very wise mentor of mine. His name is Jim Rohn. Because I've listened to everything Jim has said and talked about, and I all over the years, I first heard him at a Remax conference in 1997, and I bought all his material and I've been listening to it ever since. So Jim made a comment. He said, if you ever have a heart attack, you could learn a lesson and you could live a long time. Or you could not learn the lesson and the next heart attack will kill you. So I had remembered that, and I had said to myself a long time before, if I ever have a heart attack, it'll be a lesson and I will make some significant changes. So I started to make significant changes after 2017. But my significant changes, I was working with the information I had. And then I began to realize that my body is made up of fat and muscle, and I had too much fat. So I had to change the way I was exercising, and I had to build muscle because muscle will burn the fat off. And I began to realize that my percentage of body fat and my weight is going to affect me. And so at the time, I was probably close to 230 pounds when I had that heart attack. But now I am significantly less than that. I have dropped my weight down to, my phone was falling off the desk here. My weight's down to like 197. My body fat was over 30%. Today, my body fat is 20%.
Well, that's a great development in your body statistics.
One of the things that significantly helped me in the last 6 months was I started to work with a health coach. And this health coach introduced me to water. And water, really? I drank a lot of water. I've been drinking 2 to 3 liters a day.
Yeah, you told me that yesterday. You drink like a fish.
So they told me, I used to think 2 to 3 liters a day was the right amount. I found out from talking to my health coach, it's not the right amount. You should be drinking, for every pound that you weigh, you should be drinking an ounce of water. However, most of the water that we drink is acidic. If it comes out of your tap, if it's bought in a bottle, I don't care where you get it from, go to the health food store and buy a roll or strips of pH paper. You get the litmus paper.
I was a science student, so I understand this terminology.
So if you test what you're drinking, you're going to find out what you're drinking is acidic. And your body can only handle so much acid. Because if your system, think of your body like a swimming pool. If it turns too acidic, you get cancer, you get diseases, and you die. But diseases and viruses and parasites can't stand if your body is balanced and alkaline, little alkaline.
Okay.
So my health coach introduced me to a machine. It's a machine that makes tap water alkalizing. It turns it into alkaline water.
Okay.
And water that comes out of your tap is structured. The machine makes the water unstructured. So the molecules, the physical makeup of the water is different. So it makes it easier to drink. So from the end of October, from November till now, I have been drinking 6 liters a day based on my weight. And it actually helped me to bring my weight down from when I first started doing this, I was about 209, 210. Now I'm about 197, 199. I'm under 200 pounds now. And drinking this water is a major part of cleansing. Matter of fact, I had my blood tested. If you've never had a live blood test, it'll show you on the computer screen when they take a drop of your blood.
That's a great knowledge sharing, Ray. I will get back to that. We'll take a quick break and then continue from this acidic water. So I have some questions about that. So let's. I want to showcase this property to my audience, wherever they are, whenever they watch it, because we will be doing some photo shoot today, and this is coming on realtor.ca this 9th of May. Just give me one little.
Go ahead.
Are you looking for a reliable legal office that can handle your closing in the most effective manner? If yes, please get in touch with Rakesh Joshi at 416-213-8600. Joshi Law Office provides all the legal advices about real estate law, business law, immigration laws, notarization and affidavits, wills and trust. Give them a call today, 416-213-8600. Are you looking for reliable immigration services? If yes, contact Suki Paul at 647-296-4575 or office phone number 905-790-8877. They are located at 219-220 at 7956 Torban Road. It's right at the intersection of Torban Road and Steeles Avenue West. Contact them for all kind of visa services. Finding an honest and diligent insurance and investment advisor is a rarity these days. If you are looking for great advice, contact Mr. Bhupendra Mane, who is the regional director of Cosmos Financial Center. They are located at Union number 830 Top Flight Drive, Mississauga. The phone number to call is 647-448-6229. Give them a call today. Is your business suffering from performance? If yes, it is the right time to call Ravinder Duggi at 416-807-7986. She will find out the weak points and the points where the performance issues are paramount and help you fix those issues. Give her a call today. Do not be late. Are you looking to buy or sell your home or any commercial real estate? If yes, call me today at 647-333-2273 or 647-328-3279. I provide services in real estate and mortgages. I am mortgage broker with Akal Mortgages Inc, where when we say yes, we stand behind our promise. Reach out to me today. Do you want to shop right without burning your pockets? If yes, please visit Monisha Discount Warehouse at 377 Burnhamthorpe Road, East Mississauga, Ontario. They are the best. They have all kind of Indian, Pakistani and other local stuff that you can buy at literally throwaway prices. Contact them at 905-361-0773. Monisha Discount Warehouse. D.P. Jain is a well-known name in the fields of accounting. You can contact him today at his cell number 416-305-0080 or his office number 905-790-9327. Once you start working with him, you will never want to leave him. He is 5-star professional. Call him today. D.P. Jain Professional Corporation. PC24 RETV is heard over so many different channels. If you want to promote your business for free, call me at 647-333-2273. You can also send your artwork to contact@paulcheema.com. We are here to be partners in your business success. 647-333-2273.
Paul, I'm not hearing you.
Welcome to PC24 RETV. We are back with our next segment. Sorry for the little audio interruption. So today we would like to talk more about healthy lifestyle, and I have Ray Yankana from British Columbia. He's a broker owner of Remax Little Oaks Realty. He has many offices there and a very successful business person. So we will continue to talk, but I want to share this little information with you that came from RBC Economics. The Canadian labor markets tightened further in April. This is the headline. Employment up 15,000 in April, slowing after more than recovering from the winter pandemic. winter pandemic wave over February and March. It's slowing down, it's tightening. The unemployment rate fell to 5.2%. This is a new low since at least 1976. Labor demand remains strong. Wage growth is going to add to inflation pressure because a couple things are increasing: gas prices, real estate prices, now wage prices. At the same time, RBC Economics gave this report yesterday that payroll employment in US rose by 428,000. All private industries added jobs. The unemployment rate held flat at 3.6%. Soaring demand for workers is driving up wage growth, adding to pressures from the Feds to hike rates quickly. So there was a news that I think it was 50 basis point increase in the US for the interest rate for mortgages. So US inflation growth likely eased in April, but pressure is still broad. So the report says torrid growth in US inflation rate likely slowed in April. This would mark the first decline in almost a year and come on heels of the price growth that soared to 8.5% year over year in March. Oil prices in April reversed part of that March surge, which was driven by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but prices at pumps were still much higher compared to the beginning of the year. The price for regular grade was 4.1 $4.1 gallon per gallon, so $4.1 per gallon in April compared to $3.3 per gallon in January. Growth in food prices is also expected to have remained strong as producers continue to pass on rising input, labor, and transport costs to the consumer. These challenges are not limited to food producers and distributors. Labor shortages and wage pressures, in particular, are widespread and expected to persist given exceptionally high demand for workers and long-run demographic headwinds that will add to the crunch. So the governments are still trying to fight inflation. In Canada, their target rate is 2% of inflation by 2024. Let's see how it works. And to bring that inflation down, I'm pretty confident that they will keep rising the interest rates. So we will continue our discussion with Ray and Kenna, and he spoke something about acidity in water. Wow, this is something new for me. And I only know that there are thin strips of they're coated strips with something that tell you if the liquid is alkaline or it is acidic. So yes, Ray, so you said water is mostly acidic. Is that true even for the bottled water that we bring from Costco or other stores? We think this is a very healthy water we're drinking?
The only water that you're going to find that is alkaline and is not contaminated with plastics is water that you get from a mountain waterfall or stream or something like that. So unless you're going to go and find the purest water on the planet out in the mountains every day, you are drinking polluted water. You're drinking water with chemicals in it that are going to kill you. You're drinking water with chlorine, with fluorides, with all kinds of stuff. And just you test the water you're drinking. I mean, trust me, I had the best filters you could put on a water system. So my water was clean and filtered. And yet when I tested it for pH, it was acidic. And here's the other thing that I learned in the last 6 months. It's a side thing, but it's helped me to just be aware of the fact that the person I've been working with, my health coach, which by the way, I bet you I can invite him onto this show sometime and he could be your guest, or him and I will come back.
Absolutely,
and
by all means.
He's a health coach. He hasn't been sick in, I think he told me, in over 30 years. So he practices. He's an example of what he teaches, and his explanation will be, that you don't get sick if your system is alkaline. And I mean, even medical people will tell you that when somebody has cancer, it's because the acidity in their body has got so bad that cancer can grow and flourish in that body. And I knew for years that I had to keep my body more alkaline than acidic. I knew that I had to watch my intake of sugar because sugar is the food of cancer. And I knew that cancer can't live in an oxygenated body, so that's why I exercise all the time. But when I learned what I learned about the acidity in water, now I consume the amount of water I'm supposed to consume because I'm drinking alkaline water. And so I drink an ounce of water for every pound that I weigh. So my water intake today is about, between 197 and 200 ounces, which is about 6 liters. A few months ago, I was drinking 6 and a bit liters, 6.5 liters, but my weight's come down, so I'm drinking about 6 liters.
Yeah. So, Ray, what's the name of the machine that you use?
So the machine, there's several brands, and I own more than one brand, but one of the brands that is a medical grade machine. They use this machine in hospitals. There's probably commercial size units, and it's made by a company in Japan. They're very famous. The company is the machine is called Akal. The company that markets the product they're called Enagic. Enagic is the name.
K-A-N-G-A-N.
K-A-N-G-A-N. As a matter of fact, if you're interested,
this company, yes, this is a very well reputed company in this.
Absolutely, it's this company. Their product is used. Yeah, Paul. What I'm going to do is I'll send you a couple of links on WhatsApp, and you can have it for yourself. And but if you're interested in having a full explanation, the problem that people have from health point of view, a lot of their problems, I'm not saying all their problems, but a lot of problems would be solved if people were hydrated. Matter of fact, if you go into the hospital, when you go in emergency and you're sick for whatever reason, one of the first things they do before the doctor even examines you, if you're sick and you go to a hospital, the first thing they do is they're going to hook you up to an intravenous. They're going to hook you up to a drip. And the reason they're going to do that is because they know that no matter what's wrong with you, you probably don't have enough liquids in you. So
that's true.
Knowing that, when I learned that I need to be drinking a certain amount of water, which I was unaware of, and I think most people were just unaware of, once you start, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more energy. And I mean, yes, you're going to go to the bathroom a lot, but guess what's going to happen? I was talking before the break about my blood test. So before I started on this, I went and had 2 blood tests, one traditional to tell you how much sugar and all those kinds of things, the typical blood test where the doctor's trying to figure out what's your state of being, right?
Yeah.
I had that done, and I had a live blood test done. So the live blood test I had done is where they take your blood, just a drop or 2, and they put it on a screen and they analyze it in front of you and take pictures of it and show you it's live blood test. So it's called dry blood test. When I had that done, the people who do it all the time looked at my blood and they said, Ray, you got a lot of stuff in there. And I knew that. You got a lot of spikes, which come from metal and pollution and things we breathe. And they said, and I knew that my blood was bad because I had been working for the previous 2 or 3 years with a naturopath doing chelation treatments to clean my blood out because I had heavy metals. Because after my heart attack, I went to my naturopath. I said, how does a guy that exercises all the time more or less watches what he eats? But I was carrying too much weight. So basically he says, Ray, but we did a blood test then, and my sugar was always borderline. Like I was just barely non-diabetic. However, last year, before I started on this water, my last few blood tests, my naturopath was like, Ray, we're going to have to do something because your blood sugar is too high. So what happened, I started on this water. When I say too high, I was like, you're not supposed to be over a 7. And I was always like 6, barely, or 7. But in the fall of last year, for some reason, I jumped up to 12 and 13. And I was doing several things to try and bring it down.
Very
But I
nice.
got on this water, and December I went back for traditional blood test, and nobody could believe it. Nobody could believe that I went from 12 to 6.
Well, that is very nice. I would love to have your coach, the health coach, or anyone from Kangen who want to talk more about this machine and how it can benefit people. That would be fantastic. I
I'll
heard
arrange
of
it
it.
with him. And how about next Saturday? We could probably do it. Probably I have to check with him, but maybe next
Yeah,
Saturday.
you can just check with him and let me know, because this broadcast is every day from 10:30 to 11:30. We are on time right now, so we'll have to cut this program at this point. But I would like to keep this conversation going, because health is really important. So what you are suggesting is a very simple fix, which is just change what water you drink. And I didn't know
It's
that
very
keeping
simple.
your body alkaline enhances your lifespan and also keeps you disease free. I didn't know that. So this is a great knowledge for me today. Whenever you get chance,
I'll get
just
Ron, my
call
health
up.
coach, on. He'll explain it, and then all your viewers can benefit from it, and you as
That
well.
would be fantastic. And I was introduced to Kangen water many years back. I would say 8 years back. I thought, they're just trying to sell a machine. I didn't buy. They showed me different kind of samples. I just kept aside. But at some point, I know one girl, one lady who markets that. Anne is her name, in Toronto. So I said, Anne, if you would like to have a business partnership with me, let me know, offer me some discount, and then I will offer it to my clients when they close the sale of their property. I never heard anything. She said she will have some regional sales manager call me, talk to me. That didn't happen. So this totally went, I totally forgot it till you brought it up again today.
So the
So,
machine itself is not the miracle thing. The miracle thing is understanding what to do with the machine. Because I've only just told you a little bit. But when I get Ron on, Ron will tell you the whole gamut of it, and he's
yeah.
also a dealer for the machine.
Well, we'd love to talk
So
more on this subject, but time now it will not permit us to go further than this.
I
Just in
understand.
order to keep our bread and butter coming to the table, we'll have to go out and start doing some money making activities. At this point, I really thank you, Ray. Pop in anytime, just send me a message that you want to be a part of this program. You can keep the link I sent you. This will never expire. Just if
Okay,
I
thank you,
see
my
you
friend. Have a
here,
good
then
day.
I know you are there. I can always bring you in. This will be 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and your time is 3 hours behind. So this is where we are. So today, many of my friends and many people in this world have their birthdays. So Paul Cheema and Ray Encana and PC24 RETV wishes each and every one of you happy birthday. Enjoy your day, celebrate it. Many families got newborns in their families. Fabulous. Well, I really hope that the child that has come into your life will bring new world order, will keep the community great, proud of their existence, and stay happy and healthy all their life. But life is not about happiness. The flip side of life is also that there are many people who leave this world. So for those families who lost a beloved one today, I stand by them, beside them in this moment of sorrow. We offer our deepest condolences and will pray for peace to the departed soul. Keep getting inspired from their legacy they left behind and enjoy good memories. It won't help crying. I know crying is a normal human emotion. But just imagine this thing. If they were alive, would they like you to be crying? They won't. So why cry on back of those people? So keep smiling, keep carrying their legacy. And I know we'll take your permission. EC24, we'll see you again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Ray, for being here. I appreciate, I know how precious your time is, but I thoroughly enjoyed what you said. And I would like to learn more about this acidity or the water thing and how our body responds to it. Maybe many people will like it. If we schedule it, I will promote it beforehand so people know what to expect. Thank you very much for enhancing the beauty of this program today. I'm really grateful to you from my heart. Thank you very much. Please do not
Thanks.
leave.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
So before you go, I would want all the audience to please listen to the messages that we made for our sponsors, the people who support our program, and do them some business transaction. I tell you one thing, these people that I promote on my broadcast, they are fabulous businesses. And if you ever find any complaint, just call me. I will get it fixed for you. So I have worked with these people and I know how important customer service is for them. Thank you very much for being a part of PC24 RETV. Are you looking for a reliable legal office that can handle your closing in the most effective manner? If yes, please get in touch with Rakesh Joshi at 416-213-8600. Joshi Law Office provides all the legal advices about real estate law, business law, immigration laws, notarization and affidavits, wills and trust. Give them a call today, 416-213-8600. Are you looking for reliable immigration services? If yes, contact Sukhi Paul at 647-296-4575 or office phone number 905-790-8877. They are located at 219-220 at 7956 Torban Road. It's right at the intersection of Torban Road and Steeles Avenue West. Contact them for all kind of visa services. Finding an honest and diligent insurance and investment advisor is a rarity these days. If you are looking for great advice, contact Mr. Bhupendra Mane, who is the regional director of Cosmos Financial Center. They are located at Unit number 830 Top Flight Drive, Mississauga. The phone number to call is 647-448-6229. Give them a call today. Is your business suffering from performance? If yes, it is the right time to call Ravinder Duggi at 416-807-7986. She will find out the weak points and the points where the performance issues are paramount and help you fix those issues. Give her a call today. Do not be late. Are you looking to buy or sell your home or any commercial real estate? If yes, call me today at 647-333-2273 or 647-328-3279. I provide services in real estate and mortgages. I am mortgage broker with Akal Mortgages Inc, where when we say yes, we stand behind our promise. Reach out to me today. Do you want to shop right without burning your pockets? If yes, please visit Monisha Discount Warehouse at 377 Burnhamthorpe Road, East Mississauga, Ontario. They are the best. They have all kind of Indian, Pakistani and other local stuff that you can buy at literally throwaway prices. Contact them at 905-361-0773. Monisha Discount Warehouse. D.P. Jain is a well-known name in the fields of accounting. You can contact him today at his cell number 416-305-0080 or his office number 905-790-9327. Once you start working with him, you will never want to leave him. He is 5-star professional. Call him today. D.P. Jain Professional Corporation. PC24 RETV is heard over so many different channels. If you want to promote your business for free, call me at 647-333-2273. You can also send your artwork to contact@paulcheema.com. We are here to be partners in your business success. 647-333-2273.